Hey there, it's Jordan with Status Coup. We are in Huntington, West Virginia, here at the Wynwood Apartments. I wish you could call them good living, but these folks are living in really uninhabitable conditions. Sir, William?
Yes, sir.
William. So you guys got moved over here, your daughter, your wife. You were in building 2?
The daughter at the time, she recently come here.
Okay. And tell me about where you were and what the conditions were there.
The conditions was uninhabitable. Our floor was caving in the kitchen. It also started caving in the living room, and we had our neighbors upstairs were constantly thumping and banging and throwing stuff against the floor, and they caused a leak in their bathroom, which in turn flooded our restroom, and nothing was ever done.
You've had some breathing problems. You've had an issue with your health since moving in here. Tell me about what's been going on.
I am a diabetic. I have a blood pressure problem. I recently got out of the hospital for COVID. I have only one lung because 2 years ago they removed one of my lungs. I had a lot of breathing problems that was caused to me too before they moved us over here. They was mold so bad, honest to God. My lung specialist had a cow because I told him the truth. He said, "Well, that black mold can cause scarring of your lungs." And see, I didn't know this. I mean, we've had a horrible time. I mean, I can't. And when you have an emergency, there's nobody responding. The landlord won't answer. The maintenance men won't answer. What are we supposed to do?
No, they don't have a voicemail. They don't have a way to leave a message. I called the other day about some issues that were going on. Phone rang and rang and rang. It went to voicemail. This voicemail box has not yet been set up, so we couldn't leave a message. But about 15 minutes later, they called. He said somebody called, and he found out he thought it might have been somebody like wanting a new apartment or something like that. But when he found out I was calling from Wynwood, his whole attitude changed. It was just like, real short and real disrespectful.
Right.
Disrespectful. And we're up to date on our rent. Everything is paid. We shouldn't be treated this way.
I mean, it's boiling hot out.
Yeah, it's boiling hot out. Just recently, they had a flood that flooded several apartments on that side and out into the hallway, and was even coming in underneath our floor into the kitchen over here. The water was, and it was septic water. It was drainage water.
You see a big old, huge pile of water. It was from everywhere in the whole hallway. The whole stretch of it was like a swimming pool. I'm like, where is this coming from? I'm just like a nightmare.
What did they do about it?
Just come over and sucked it up with some. I don't know how they got it to stop, but I'm thankful for that.
They came and they got his guys. They dug up some concrete outside and found out the leak was, in one of the main lines. And they supposedly fixed this, but this is after the flood had happened. But as far as the water that was out in the hallway or the water that was in these apartments, I don't know what they did, because they never once came over to clean these carpets, to suck the water up. Nobody. Even I asked a maintenance guy, are they going to come and get this up? This is nasty. It's stinking the hallway. This is, it's unacceptable. It's not.
My own nurses.
It's nasty.
I have nurses that can verify everything, because I had nurses from the hospital coming here to see me whenever I got out of the hospital with COVID. And they'll tell you the conditions they've seen. They couldn't believe it, and I'll be honest, I was embarrassed over it. I mean, nurses coming out of St. Mary's Hospital, and I'm like, how do you explain you got a landlord like that?
Well, also, COVID attacks your respiratory system, and you're already getting attacked every day, your respiratory system, with the mold.
3 different breathing treatments.
3 different breathing treatments?
Yeah, daily, including oxygen over there. That's what that is, that big machine.
I mean, you're not an old person, so.
No, my health is not good. The mold was off on that other place, though. I mean, oh my God, it was bad. It was attacking our breathing bad. We were smothering.
And I could hear you breathing heavily now, and you're saying it's better over here, even though breathing isn't so easy.
It is actually better over here. You know, this building, I guess, is pretty much on concrete. You know, where we don't have to deal with the struts and stuff coming through the apartment beneath us. But you know, it's awful. Landlords think they have. Once they get you in a place, they think they have you. That we have no rights. You know, a lot of people screamed and I mean really got upset because the paper we got was not from the court, was not signed by a judge, wasn't delivered by a police officer like a normal eviction notice has to be. It was just a piece of paper said you are evicted immediately. Why?
No.
And for a long time, and we could never get no answer.
My daughter's allergic to the ultraviolet rays of the sun. She's special needs. And here I am thinking, well, how can he kick everybody out and make us homeless? I mean, if she's out in the sun very long, she'll end up in the ICU unit with sun poisoning. The child's allergic to it. I mean, it's like they don't think of all the medical conditions some of us have.
There's a lot of disabled people, too.
Yeah.
I'm disabled. I'm on disability. I'm not afraid to admit it. I have a bad leg. I have COPD. I have diabetes.
Hip replacement.
You know, I had hip replacement, was one that's been recalled, and I have, you know, little loose use of my right leg. There's a lot of things going on. I can't afford to just pack up and move.
And what'd you do for a living before?
I was a sanitation worker for the city of Huntington for several years. I worked for a corporation that did vegetation management for the railroad. We set trucks on the tracks and ran what they call high rail tanker trucks. I sprayed for vegetation to keep the tracks clear. You know, that was and it was a very lucrative job.
Tough work on the body.
Yeah, tough work on the body. I've never had an easy job in my life. And I even told them when they give me disability, I don't want disability, I want fixed, I want to go back to work. But, you know, here I am. I'm struggling from month to month. You know, the rent and utilities, well, just the rent, it covers utilities here, is over half of my income. And she can't work because she got physical disabilities. This is a place like this is the only place we have. And to have our landlord stand up and say, well, you're evicted, you're on drugs. No, we're not. Some of them are. You know, you're going to have that everywhere. But don't accuse the ones that aren't doing everything.
Have you heard from anybody from the city? Are they doing anything about once you got the eviction notice?
No. We've been notified by legal aid. You know, they're going to represent us in several things going through this and try to get things straight, you know, for the people that need it. You know, there are people that take advantage of and there are people that need it. Well, we need a place to live.
Right.
We don't have anywhere else. We don't have nothing else.
You got the flag up here, you got the flag on your hat. This is America. You expect to see these things in kind of poorer third world kind of countries.
I'm speechless about all that. I really am. Because there are people in other countries. You know, we're supposed to live, like you said, in the wealthiest nation in the world. And there are people that live better than what we are, and we pay more for it.
It seems like poor people are singled out.
Say it again.
It seems like poor people are singled out. It seems like we're hated. And I don't understand that. We're good people. We're just poor. I mean, we're not bad people just because we're poor, but we get treated that way. I don't understand what happened to America.
And I'm a vet. I served my country.
Where'd you serve?
I served in the Army I served 2 years, and I was in the reserve for 2 years. And I get done like this.
How you guys dealing also with inflation? You got the gas prices, the food price. I mean, we just got 2 sandwiches. It was $33.
Oh my gosh.
Well, soda too, but still. How you guys dealing with the prices? You're on a fixed income disability money. It's got to be hard.
Well, we deal. It's a day-to-day thing. The end of the month, you know, we help each other out. We do what we can because if, you know, we got. I'm lucky to have a few tight-knit group of friends that I can actually call friends. Actually, on less than one hand, that help us out. And there's turns that we help them out. It just, you know, we got to stick together. Right. Because if you don't stick together, ain't nothing ever going to happen. We have to help each other. If she's down and out, I'm going to help her. If I'm down and out, she's going to help us. You know, I have a brother that I've had for a long time. I've rode motorcycles with him damn near all my life. And me and him are that way. I've always helped him, and he's always helped me. He's always been there for me. You know, I'm an old school biker, I'll tell you that. And without some of them, I wouldn't make it. I mean, you can tell, look, I mean, we don't have a whole lot.
Sorry, you got President Biden is saying the economy is coming back, the jobs are coming back, the unemployment number is low. I don't know, I'm going around the country. Maybe it's good for some, you know, high-class folks, but the media and the president are saying the economy is doing better. I see a lot of poverty, and I see a lot of people who are one step away from poverty and homelessness.
Exactly. Every day you're just one step away. If you count your blessings, you better count them really good because tomorrow they may not be there. I never expected at 53 years old I'd be in this condition. Be fighting every day just to survive. And especially in this mess, fighting every day just to keep a roof over my head. I've been homeless. I know what the homeless go through. I've been there. Living on the street, no place to go, turned away from the mission, turned away from other places. But I got myself up and I, you know, thought I had a good straight life. And then you got things like this that just want to come at you and say, oh, you got to move. Everybody's on drugs. You got to move. No, I'm not on drugs. I'm just poor.
You guys worried for her future? Obviously, she's got...
Yeah, I worry all the time because she was born with 40% brain damage, epilepsy. She's got 8 medical conditions. I get afraid what's going to happen to her if something happens to us. There'll be nobody to take care of her. People don't understand. She can't get out in the sun like normal people. It puts her in a hospital. It just scares me to death.
Lucky to have you.
Do the right thing by the people that do right. All we want is just to live, have a good roof over our head, and the bills paid, which they are paid. Just do right. Don't take advantage. Because you know you take advantage, one day you could be sitting in our position. Nothing is promised for tomorrow.
Hey, it's Jordan with Status Coup at the Wynwood Apartments in Huntington, West Virginia, here with Alyssa. And you are one of the many who got eviction notices a month ago in these apartments. Black mold, the floors caving in, human waste coming from the ceilings. Obviously, you're disabled. Tell me about how long you lived here and the eviction notice you got and what reason you were given.
I wasn't given any reason why I got the notice. It's just everybody got a reason. But before that I got an eviction notice because I was late on my rent. And then I had went to the doctor and I got some bad news, and then the same day I got the note on the door. So it wasn't a very good day.
So you went to the doctor, gave you some bad news. You come home, you get an eviction notice. Obviously, you're not in a situation where you could just move.
Right.
You're not able to. Can you kind of talk to me about your health? I know you've been going through it recently.
Yeah. I have muscular dystrophy. That's why I'm in the chair, and my leg's been amputated. But I've been having problems with my mouth, and I went to the ear, nose, and throat doctor, and he told me that they thought for sure that I had cancer in my mouth. Anyway, he had told me that, and then I come home, and then I seen the note on the door, and it went from there.
Can you kind of, as best as you could talk about the conditions you've been dealing with, have you been dealing with mold in the apartment and other things?
Yeah, I have mold, and I've been having problems in my bathroom. My sink is filled up, and my toilet don't work, and there's been water running all the way into my bedroom, and I've been having problems like that the whole time I've lived here.
And when you call to get repairs, to get help, do they respond?
No, they don't. So we have to try to fix it as best as we can.
And how much are you paying a month to live in these conditions?
Well, I get HUD, so I pay what HUD doesn't pay.
The mold, I mean, I could even breathe it through the mask. What does it say to you that you guys are living like this? And this is supposed to be, you know, the wealthiest country on earth. They say the economy is doing better and the jobs are coming back. But there's a lot of places like this all over the country where it's really unlivable conditions.
Yeah, it could be a lot better. I mean, we could live a lot nicer.
Thank you.